morning. So glad y'all are here. I'm going to be loud because it's early and 8. I appreciate you getting up early and joining us today. We're thrilled to have you. I am actually going to talk about the 6 key ingredients for workplace innovation. We've had a couple titles thrown around here, but the point is we're going to talk about technology. We're going to talk about what I think contributes to workplace, what we think contribute to workplace innovation. So regardless of the title, the intent is to give you that type of information. We believe that there are a specific combination of ingredients that really are showing some value in impacting workplace innovation. Granted, every organization is different and unique based on your culture, your industry, the marketplace that you serve, but regardless of that, we believe that the workplace, regardless of the type, whether it's a single building, a campus, a co-working space, is a platform. It's a platform for workplace innovation. It's a platform for improving employee productivity, and it can be the most successful workplace if we're able to create an environment that enhances productivity and treats people as people and addresses their individual needs and doesn't just treat them as assets of the organization. Bottom line is the enterprise's responsibility to create work environments that create productive and happy employees. So it's about unleashing human potential. So that's what I'm here to talk to you about today. Again, I'm Elizabeth Dukes, my co-presenter. I'm honored to join me today is Pankaj Dumay. And he is personally experienced workplace transition and has been the leader of workplace transition for the Office of the Future in his environment. So he's going to talk to you about what his process was and how successful they've been. So I thought it was important for a peer to get up and talk to you about their personal experiences. So the theme of the IFMA conference this year is collaborate to innovate. That's a timeless concept. Collaboration has been going on in nature since the beginning of time, like the combination of wind and energy to create ocean waves. But I'm not going to talk about that kind of collaboration. I'm going to talk about the collaboration that is enabling the best functioning businesses and the physical and visual, virtual workspaces they occupy to make real change, to allow for flexible, nimble responses and growth to create success in the organization. And I'm not just going to talk about fiscal success. I'm going to talk about success of the employees that makes them excited to go to work every day, knowing that all the various and sundry things they need to do their job well is taken care of. And they're not burdened with all the tasks that you deliver to them to make their job easy and productive. All that stuff that was in your sphere of influence that sometimes they have no idea what you're doing to help them. No other time in history have FM leaders had the opportunity to create, mold, and shape the most productive work environments on earth. Workplaces that empower the workforce, workplaces that are in and of themselves a catalyst for growth, productivity, and profitability. And as the video said, the power is in your hands. The question is, will we take it? Will we take the next step? Will we make actionable decisions that take us into the workplace of the future? Certainly, you've done that by attending this conference. This conference is about collaborating and sharing ideas, which is a significant part of our progression into the future. So I'm glad you're here, and I'm particularly glad you're in this room, so thank you. Payroll is the biggest line item for most organizations. Teamwork certainly is the dream work. But the second largest item is the office space, the workspace for most organizations. Granted, manufacturing and other things may have higher dollar areas, but office space, real estate is the second highest item on the list. And as FM leaders, our decisions and the plans we make impact both. While we manage the workspace, traditionally that's been our area of focus, make no mistake that the services and the space and solutions we offer dramatically impact how people work. Great companies are defined by the results of their high-performing teams. True leaders build environments that allow their employees to thrive. Work can either be an environment that is motivates or allows for creativity, strategic planning, productivity, or it can stifle and hinder innovation. The power is in the hands of the people that bring it to life. By giving our people the technology that is easy and smart and works like they do, is open, configurable, and mobile, we give them the tools to accelerate innovation, and we give them the tools to move mountains, not just manage them. The workspace of today is no longer about four walls that can confine it. It takes place at a desk, in an office, in breakout rooms, in collaboration spaces across time zones, at home, and at 30,000 feet. Today, we are tasked with delivering solutions that satisfy this dynamic environment, allow our people, our team members, the workforce that we serve to be more productive, and keep people within our environments and attract new and great talent to our organizations. Today, all of us are in an effort to unleash the power of human potential in our office to impact the growth and enhancement of our enterprises. So let's start. I'm going to start with my first 6 key ingredients. My first one, everything I'm going to talk about really hinges on this one topic. Over the past couple of decades, the office environment has dramatically changed. Thank God it doesn't look like this anymore, really, truly. And the thing that's been driving that change is technology, which is key ingredient number 1. You've got to embrace technology. It has revolutionized the office environment. It's revolutionized how we work. The influx of new technology that's impacted our own personal lives, the convenience of our personal lives has now migrated over to our professional lives. There's so many technology tools out there that we can embrace professionally to allow us to enhance our own role as well as those we serve. And FM leaders have embraced that. You have embraced technology, and that's been shown by the technology spend. One of the biggest technology platforms that FM leaders use is integrated workplace management services. And in 2013, the sale of those technology platforms reached $1 billion. And by the end of 2018, they'll reach $1.7 billion. So as the FM leaders' scope of influence within the enterprise has expanded, the spend in technology has expanded and kept in sync. So you've really embraced that, and I congratulate you on recognizing the value of technology in your environments. But what they've also recognized is that the technology that you have in place has got to be a tool that is new and is able to embrace all the technological change and the dynamics of your workforce. It can't be old, dated technology, and it certainly can be not any technology. And primarily because people have the ability to work anywhere with things like data as a service, software as a service, workspace as a service, with the devices we carry in our purses and pockets. We have the ability to communicate, engage our team members from anywhere. So we as FM leaders have to be able to address that. So how do we address that? The technology that we use in this dynamic world, we have to have a characteristic, I believe, called agility. And what I mean by that is not only flexibility, but I mean the ability to respond to changes without restraint, almost eagerness to the changing demands of the workspace. So the technology platform that you have has to have the flexibility to change as the expectations of your organization change, the expectations of your workforce changes, as the dynamics of your own operational teams change. Technology has already done a whole lot for us in the FM world. It has increased our ability to communicate with our team members. We can talk via text, via email, via phone, via social media. We can easily collaborate anytime. So we've enhanced our ability to collaborate with team members and execute more rapidly in our environments. We've also optimized time management. We've automated many of our daily tasks, transactional tasks. We've enhanced our team members' ability to deliver services, so improved their morale. We've also, with this automation of kind of more tactical things, we've been able now to raise our level of thinking more strategically and creatively to really provide solutions. The only downside of that is the customers we serve want things faster. We've also been able to improve profitability by being more productive. In turn, we're more profitable and can deliver higher value to our environments. And we've also impacted security through technology. And I'm not talking about cybersecurity, but I'm talking about the workspaces and the assets contained in there. Through technology, tracking technology, we're able to identify what assets we have, what people are supposed to be in the workspace, and track that. Without those type of technology, that type of thing could just walk out of our office at any given time with a visitor or even our own employees, hopefully not. So technology that we've embraced has done this for us already. But the technology that's really having an impact on workplace environments is software as a service, or some people use the acronym SaaS. SaaS is what the Gartner Group, if any of you are familiar with Gartner Group, they're a technology analyst firm that looks at all types of technology platforms and analyzes the marketplace and what the marketplace needs and the players in those fields and rates them. And they have been using a theme called the Nexus of Forces since about 2011. And these Nexus of Forces they define as mobility, the cloud, and social collaboration. And they believe that these forces are combining to drive a more consumerized ecosystem. And what I mean by that is our workers are driving how they work, when they work, and therefore impacting how we deliver services. And they say that software as a service is increasing and more, let me read it. SaaS is the biggest trend in workplace management services. So it's going to be continued to be the tool that creates that agile environment that allows you to respond more effectively to the changing needs of your organization. So I want to be real clear about what software as a service is, because people get it confused. They think it's a cloud app. It is a cloud app. They think it's a hosted app. It is a hosted app, but it's actually more than that. It is a fully functioning single application that is in the cloud and is hosted, but it's a single application where multiple people can have license to that application through their own private database to be able to create, modify, save, and share files and perform specialized functions over the internet. So it's a single application. It's not an individual application hosted on the internet just for you. So what does that mean exactly to you as an FM leader? What specifically does that mean? It means that if you engage a software as a service application, you have that one single application with your own private URL and your own private database, the provider is continually updating that one application. So the value of your investment is going to increase over the time that you license that application, because the provider is taking feedback from all your peers in the industry about how to improve it, what can you bring to upgrade, and what additional functionality do you need as FM leaders to make this product better. So you're taking advantage of all this collaboration. It's like the ultimate form of collaboration. You're getting the benefit of that inside of your application. So it continuously improves. Secondly, it's a fully formed application. I've talked to a couple people while we've been here that some of their struggles with technology has been system technology, your own IT infrastructure and network. And SaaS applications do not rely on that. Yes, they have to go through your security due diligence of your organization, but they're fully functioning. They have their own security, data management, server management, so all the upgrades, enhancements are taken care of by the provider. So you're no longer dependent on your IT structure to do that. They can focus on their core business. Those two things are very valuable to FM leaders. A couple of trends I just want to point out about how significant SaaS is in the global marketplace, not just for FM. Microsoft says that their revenue model for cloud data storage has way exceeded on-premise. So even Microsoft's solutions are now based on the cloud because they're more cost-effective and they can store more. The second thing, which I think is incredibly powerful, is that SaaS applications will continue to increase based on specific industries and functions. So what that means is people are going to start listening to you and developing specific technology related to what you need. So there's going to be opportunities to embrace all the latest new technology into your environment. So that's a really powerful, because you can continue to enhance your deliverable with all this new stuff. So real quickly, run through the benefits of a SaaS model. It's easy to implement and maintain because it's its own application. It's not going to have to be installed on your network. It's not going to have to depend on your IT to get done. It's highly configurable. It's designed to configure to your workflows and processes. You're in control. And the second important point about that is that once you configure it, it doesn't mean in 3 months or 6 months when your work has changed or the expectations of service delivery or workflow have changed, you can still change it. You're not locked in for the life of the agreement. The SaaS platform allows you that agility to adapt and mold your environment, and you can do it yourself because they're intuitive and easy to use. The user interface is simple, it's easy to engage, a couple of clicks, and what that also does for you is it increases adoption rates. One of the biggest challenges for implementing technology I've found with FM leaders is getting all their team members on board to embrace that technology. So if you have something that's easy to use, it's familiar, has mobility associated with it, a couple clicks, people are likely to adopt it. And it's also important because your technology platform is your interface to the workforce. You want them to be able to engage you, and that needs to be something that's simple and comfortable for them to use as well. The tools also, SaaS, are usually open and can share data with other systems, which I'm going to elaborate on here in a minute. And then finally, they're secure. There is a perception out there that SaaS-based or cloud-based apps are not secure. Gartner Group actually says that leading SaaS suppliers offer cutting-edge data security that's better than most customer organizations can provide. In fact, SaaS applications are typically more secure than the email you send over the internet every day. And I'm sure your organizations have a very robust security protocol that should be followed, and the SaaS provider should comply. So, end of ingredient number one, you need a modern technology platform that allows you the agility to continue to respond to the changing dynamics of your organization and the marketplace. So, ingredient number two, I call it strategic and tactical collaboration because it's really two levels of collaboration. The first is the most obvious form, and that's just talking to people. As FM leaders, as the expectation of your role is changing with the changing dynamics of the workspace, you need to be in sync with the direction of the organization, with where the leadership's going, how they intend to grow. You need to be in sync with your brand and your culture and the type of environment that your leaders want to bring to the table. It's important to read all the published materials, annual reports, quarterly reports. Look at the website. Your own company website, I think, can give you more about your culture and brand and what the leadership of your organization wants to communicate and achieve than just about anything. And you deserve to be at the table because you can directly impact the productivity of that organization through the workspace. You want to be able to engage business unit leaders to understand how they need to respond to the company direction, what their workplace dynamics are, so that you can mold the environment according to their needs. And then obviously, I've talked a lot about this, is engaging your peers in HR and IT. HR, they're all things people. They have the who, what, where. They have great data. They know the type of people they're hiring. They know the type of dynamics that are expected. You need to collaborate on what they need and what you need from them to deliver services to the workspace. IT. Historically, FM and IT have not always worked hand in hand, but we really need to engage each other because the workplace of the future, the foundation is technology. So we really need to create a relationship with these team members in order to engage and understand your standards, your mobility standards, your security standards, and talk about how we can integrate our solutions to deliver value to the workspace. So collaboration in its traditional sense. The next level of collaboration that I want to talk about is actually more tactical or technical integration. The technology to use in the workspace can benefit and leverage other systems in your organization, like HR systems. They have valuable data about employees, their employee status, their job titles, their organizational attributes, their cost center attributes, when they come on board, when they exit the organization. And by creating technical integration with these two systems, you're able to automate and be more productive and analyze information more effectively. Secondly is looking at your IT organization. In fact, one of my customers, several of our customers have IT help desks in place, and they want to use those for facility management. And as facility managers, IT help desk systems really aren't the answer to how we manage our business. However, for the end user population, it makes it really easy for them just to go to one spot to enter all their transactions. So if you have a SaaS-based system that is open and configurable, you should be able to leverage those IT help desk systems and integrate them with your facility management platform. So you get everything you need, but the customer has one interface and you all collectively work together. And then finally is the ability to integrate new technology. You know, I spoke earlier about all these new SaaS applications that are coming on the market that are going to be focused specifically to your industry and functionality that you need to improve and enhance in your organization. If you have a SaaS-based platform that has the ability to pull in these new technologies, you can really offer some really new and exciting things with the new best-of-breed technology like wayfinding, kiosks, digital signage, calendaring, energy optimization, crowdsourcing. There's all these great, neat tools out there that need to be linked into your technology foundation so that you can manage and report and build and pull in data points so that you can offer a more holistic view of how your organization is performing. So now I'm going to introduce my co-presenter, Pankaj Dumay. As Steve mentioned, he is the VP of Real Estate and Facilities for BMC Software. And he is going to talk to you a little bit about how he has implemented workplace innovation inside of his environment. I felt like it would be a good idea to talk to somebody who's actually done it, been there and done it. So go right ahead, Pankaj.
Thank you, Elizabeth. How are you all? Doing well? The 6 key ingredients that Elizabeth has been talking about, that's what we've been doing the past 4 years. So before that, my name is Pankaj Dumay. I'm the Vice President of Real Estate and Facilities Management at BMC Software. We are a software company. Technology is what we do. Technology is what we use. We don't necessarily sell in the facilities management market. We are a $2 billion plus software company. We went private 2 years ago. Many of the Fortune 500 companies are our customers. We sell software for optimizing the data centers, and we are headquartered in Houston, Texas. So today I'm going to speak about my experience on the transformation of facilities at BMC. We went from an old-style facilities design to a new modern space. Employee experience was at the focus of this change, and space design, furniture, and technology all played a role in the transformation. I just want you to take a look at that desk over there with the BMC logo. I'm going to refer to that particular desk a little later. First of all, why do we do this? Why do we do this transformation? Why are companies paying extra attention to their facilities? It's simple, because there is a war for talent. Attracting talent is a key to future growth for any organization. A facility is the only physical proof of what a company stands for and how it operates. Everything else a candidate or an employee experiences is non-physical. This journey of transformation is in 3 phases. The 3 phases are learn, implement, and the third is about digital transformation. Here's what happened in the first phase. First, we had to take stock of what was working and what was not in facilities. We are not a large company. We had 1.5 million square feet of space in approximately 100 locations, supporting 6,000 people. Our design was old. We had private offices on the outside, cubicles with tall partitions on the inside, large conference rooms, and no collaboration spaces. There was nothing standard about our space other than dark furniture. You would be hard-pressed to identify BMC office when you entered our lobby. Every lobby had a different design and a different place to put a logo and how it was lighted, etc. Technology was equally bad. Wi-Fi was spotty, and you had to change your password if you went from one office to another. We actually needed a hardware token to access the virtual private network. Facilities management was done through phone calls, paper, and Excel sheets. No use of technology, or not much anyway. Overall, you will agree that that was a poor employee user experience as well as inefficient for the facilities team ourselves. In short, our employees were tethered to the desk. I call this experience working from quote unquote my space. You go out of the my space and you're immediately non-functional. You're not able to be functional. So we started a journey to learn about world-class facilities. The facilities team visited top-tier companies in the industry, both globally and locally. The mission was to find the best space design that attracts top talent. We needed to learn what was happening in the industry and how had things changed. As we started this journey, a new CIO joined the company, and luckily for me, he was a change agent himself and joined me in defining the Office of the Future strategy. As we traveled, we found that industry standards and design had changed. The new design was focused on allowing a lot more natural light to come into the workplace. Cubicles had shorter walls and were on the perimeter of the space. Private offices were on the inside. There was a lot of color and furniture was lighter. There were open collaboration spaces and smaller conference rooms. Technology was at a different level. Wi-Fi was configured to allow employees to work from everywhere seamlessly. You were not tethered to your desk. I call this experience, as I went out there and saw it, as quote unquote our space. We were in my space, this was our space. And our goal became we wanted to become our space. Finally, all of this was going to cost us money. We had to bring a good financial approval process that did not exist before within the team. So the learning from phase one was we learned global and local workspace trends. We understood our priorities and the costs involved, and we designed a workspace that would be best for our company. From here, we moved to phase two. Phase two was about implementation. We took all our learning and developed a space design that fit our culture. Culture is very important. You cannot just go out there, see something, take pictures, and try to implement it yourself. Of course, the simple things in space design were incorporated first, like short-walled workstations, private offices in the interior, smaller conference rooms, etc. But we also did three specific things. We consider our lobby a living room of the office. It should be instantly recognizable and comfortable. We want every employee, customer, and partner to recognize a BMC office in any city. So we standardized the lobby desk. That's the desk that I was showing up here. Let me just quickly go back. So we standardized the lobby desk and the placement of the logo and added nice furniture. Now you can instantly recognize a BMC lobby when you arrive. Next, to build pride inside the employee work area, we subtly added our logo on all glass walls and glass partitions. Finally, we created a watering hole space we called Link, L-I-N-K. It is a common space with loose furniture and some game tables like foosball and pool. Additionally, we also changed technology. Wi-Fi became ubiquitous. It didn't matter which BMC office you go to, you are automatically connected without any intervention. Virtual private network connectivity is now through software instead of using the hardware token. And finally, our biggest IT change has been to move to an enterprise voice solution. The telephone instrument as we know it has disappeared from our desks. and voice calls are now exclusively through the computer or mobile phone. Current data networks allow you fantastic quality, and this saves real estate on your desk. With these changes, I believe we jump from the MySpace experience to a whole new experience that I call any space. So we bypassed what we were trying to do was go to our space. We also invested in the technology for the facilities management team. First, we implemented a help desk ticketing system to manage all facilities requests. This is what Elizabeth was referring to, but we use our own product called Remedy. Second, we invested in a cloud-based app to manage our office space. We are now able to dynamically manage employee moves and space availability. No paper or Excel sheets are required. This allows the FM team to be more productive. However, everything was not as smooth initially. The biggest challenge in any facilities project is change management. Many people accept change and many don't. That's the nature of being human. Demographics, culture, and other things impact the acceptance of change. Change brings out emotions in people, some good and some not so good. Here is how we manage change. We made a deal with the senior most regional or local executive where we were going to build an office with the new design. If the new design failed for any reason, we would take the blame. If the project succeeded, they would take the praise. It was a fantastic deal for the executive. We created a local Move Champions team that participated in the design and change management. We built excitement through regular communication, and we connected our employees to the space by pasting photographs that they had clicked that were selected through a competition, internal competition, and we pasted them on these large walls throughout the office. That connected many employees directly to the space and everyone else who knew who had taken the picture. Our first few implementations were in Europe. Our strategy worked and executives started getting praised for their decisions. Pictures of the new spaces started coming up on our internal social media app with comments from local employees. As we found success, we documented this and created a playbook. The playbook documents our process as well as the various standards and specifications for furniture, technology, etc. There are regional variations and it is a living document. The success of our various projects reached the top management at BMC and they approved the new design that is now being implemented at our headquarters. Even presidents now are going to have offices in the interior. No one has an exterior office. This is a dramatic change in our culture. By the time we end our fiscal year in March 2016, over the last 5 years, we will have transformed approximately 70% of our global offices that touch 85% of our employee population to the office of the future. Space and technology have transformed the employee experience from MySpace to any space. What this means is that you can literally plop yourself down in any seat in any BMC office worldwide, and you will have a very similar facility and technology environment experience without any intervention from the facilities or IT team. All these changes have reduced our footprint by 300,000 square feet over the last 5 years. So the learning from phase 2 are change management is critical. Sell your vision to regional or senior executives, and technology plays an important part of the office environment. The last phase is phase 3, and that is improve. But phase 3 is about digital transformation, and it is by far for me the most exciting. It is all about going digital. We have built beautiful offices for which we get a lot of praise from our employees. They take pride in their space and are very productive. But we seem to be building more space than we need. We build a lot of dedicated seats and our space utilization is low in many offices. Space utilization is calculated as the number of employees badging into the office on average in a month compared to the total capacity of that office. Technology allows today employees the flexibility of time and space. This means that the number of employees concurrently in the office on any given day is far less than the number of seats available. So in this phase, we have two goals. One is to save money and increase employee experience. The first goal is to right-size the office space. Every square foot of space that is in excess of the average space utilization metric is wasted dollars. We want to build sufficient but not wasted space. Business stakeholders' response to space needs is always emotional. They want more, we push for less. This is not their problem, this is ours. We accept it. Unless we give them the data, this issue will remain emotional. We intend to analyze badge access control data to determine the actual space needs of each office and create more shared space and less dedicated space. The second goal is to use automation for increasing employee experience. We want management and employees to be in charge of the space. Facilities management needs to get out of the way of managing seats and spaces. We need to enable users to manage it themselves. Let me give you a more concrete example. When I came to Denver just the other day and picked up a rental car that I had already pre-booked, all I had to do was select a car on the lot, identify myself at the gate with my driving license, and I drove off. If you recall, in the past, you had to go to a counter, do whatever you needed to do. All they would do is give you a key, and then you go to the car. Imagine that time of 15 minutes to sometimes an hour is just gone. That's exactly what we need to do in facilities management. So similarly, today we manage employee requests for seat assignment. I want the facilities team to do higher level contributions than managing seat allocations. This can be solved through software solutions. BMC has a software as a service solution called My IT, which we are going to use for solving this issue. Imagine the potential of smaller, more efficient space. If your annual rent budget is $100 million, and you are able to save anywhere from $5 million to $20 million, it will have a huge impact on your company. Every dollar saved is a dollar earned. You might win the best sales award for bringing the company that much revenue or savings. I'm excited about this phase and hope to come back at a later time to speak about it. I would love to learn from your experiences that you have in your workplace. You can connect with me later after this session or by email. My email is my first name _ last name @bmc.com. Thank you.
I think that Pankaj did such a beautiful job emphasizing some of the things I talked about. Technology is his foundation for the future. It was the foundation to begin, and it's his foundation to continue. He's adopting agile technology so he can embrace what he envisions to be the future, the national rent-a-car solution where employees can take charge of when they want that space. He also talked a lot about collaboration. He talked about embracing people and what they want. So I think that he did a great job validating what I had to say to start with. But I want to continue on with 4 more points that also he hit upon briefly in his speech. Or in his visit. One is mobility. This is actually a little bit redundant. Everybody knows that the world is going mobile. The worker is mobile. Workplaces need to be mobile and address us anywhere we are. So we're always on the go. And mobility is really not just for the worker and their ability to engage a space real time or request a service. It's for our teams. I think we might be the most mobile group historically in our environments because we are responsible for taking care of the workspace in and of itself. So we need mobile tools. So mobility is a key component of the technology foundation that you establish. You need to have mobile interfaces that allow you to do your job on the fly, to allow you to visualize and manage your space, to allow you to create service transactions, to allow you to collaborate with your team, to ensure that service is being delivered in a prompt manner. So there's so many tools out there, mobile tools, that can interface with your technology platform to allow you to be out and about and managing real time and not having to go back to your desk. Mobility tools also impact our workforce. They need to be able to engage facility services wherever they are. They don't need to have the need to go to their desk to send an email or fill out a form. They need to be able to go to their phone, reserve a space, check into a space through a scan, wayfind where their team members are. They need to be able to request services. They need to be updated when they have a visitor, when they have a package. All of that can be handled through a mobile device, and that mobile device should be their window into the technology platform. So it all should be collaborating in sync. I love this quote from Judy Thompson with Atlantic Monthly. She said, "It's stupid. The old model of flexibility is broken. People don't want flexible work schedules. They want complete control over their time." And a lot of people attribute this desire to millennials coming into the workplace, but I don't even think it's a generational thing anymore. I think everybody wants this semblance of work-life balance and be able to manage their time. And through mobile tools, they have the ability to stay in sync and manage themselves effectively. And the data proves it. There was a U.S. Census report in 2013, or 5 years ago, that said that 13.5 million Americans worked at least one day a week at home, which was a 35% increase over the past decade. And there's another survey that looks towards 2020 that says that 3/4 of the workforce will be mobile by 2020. So Pankaj's vision about any space work and the ability to use the rental car model of today is where we're going, and we have to have the proper tools in place to be able to leverage that and provide that to our workspace. Fourth ingredient, analytics. People talk about this all the time. You count the number of steps you take in a day, how much sleep you get at night. We're tracking all kinds of metrics or analytics within inside of our environment, which is great and is only going to continue. Obviously, you can't improve what you're not measuring. So you should be able to establish key metrics. Your traditional metrics and KPIs are a standard for your organization. Metrics are those that are just simple units of measure. How many square feet I have, how many workstations we have, how many conference rooms we have. And it's valuable information. We need to know that information, but we also need to set key performance indicators for ourselves that are actionable metrics that tell us something about how we can be proactive in our environments. The Gartner Group states that providing a workspace costs an organization anywhere from $8,000 to $14,000 a year. The metric is, do we know what it costs inside of our own organizations? We need to understand that. But then we also, for a KPI standpoint, we need to understand, are we utilizing that space so that we can determine how much we're spending, or the opportunity to save or create more efficiency. Every organization is different on what that KPI is. Some organizations expect 100% utilization. Some organizations expect only 70%. But we need to understand what our threshold is based on the vision of the organization and what our objectives are. And then once we have those type of trends and measurements, then we can react in a proactive, instead of reacting, we'll be proactive so that we can create spaces like Pankaj suggested, where we are maybe downsizing the amount of square footage we have, but we're creating more variable spaces, more collaboration spaces that truly engage the worker, but are more highly utilized and impact the bottom line in a powerful way. The other thing I really want to talk about analytics, and before I get off this though, this is really powerful when you collaborate with your peers, when you're talking to HR, when you're talking to IT, and Pankaj gave great examples of how he had to collaborate. The workspace has to leverage your peers like IT, providing Wi-Fi, providing easy accessibility over communication. So it's important to work with your peers to define what these KPIs are. But the thing I want to pose to you that I think is interesting is about employee engagement. A Towers Watson report said that more than 60% of employees feel unsupported, detached, or disengaged. how can FM leaders start to contribute to understanding employee engagement in our environments? What metrics and KPIs can we look at or can we develop that help us understand how the workspace environment that we are delivering is influencing, in a positive or negative way, employee engagement? And I don't necessarily know the specific answer to that. I just know that there's a lot of talk in the industry about this whole, not only unleashing a potential of the workspace and making people more productive, but are they engaged? Now, there's a lot that goes into that conversation, but how does the workspace and our ability to deliver that workspace impact that? Like, for example, how many work tickets are being generated as it relates to the total population of your organization? If it's a lower percentage, does that potentially mean that people are happy and the workspace is operating at its optimum level? What about the number and frequency of meeting rooms reserved by quantity of participants? There's a Harvard Business Review article that I read about employee engagement that it says employee engagement, if you have more than 20 people, 20 or more people participating in the meeting, employee engagement falls off because people don't feel connected. They feel just like a participant. If you've got meetings that are 4 or less, then that probably is an indicator that people are collaborating and are engaged. So if we can bring a statistic to our leadership that says, this is how many meeting rooms that are being reserved, and this is how many people are checking in and out of that space, then we can contribute to that conversation. We can bring powerful analytics and statistics to be a participant in short and long-term goals of the organization. And I just feel like that's something we need to start thinking about how we can collaborate and bring in other data points into our technology foundation to support the understanding of employee engagement. The fifth, social media. And I love Pankaj talked about this. This is kind of a scary term. Lots of people are like, social media has no place in the workplace at all. But I guess, do any of you ever go on TripAdvisor or Yelp and rate a restaurant or a hotel after you stay there? Do any of you have your own Twitter or Facebook account, LinkedIn accounts? Do any of you review Amazon reviews or Zappos reviews or co-working space reviews? I mean, we all use social in order to make a purchase, make a decision to how we manage services. So it's interesting to me to think about how potentially as FM leaders we could leverage social. We have 10 minutes. I'm almost done. How we could potentially leverage that. As everything, as we are becoming more of a service-oriented, more visible service within the organization, and as everything is becoming more public and transparent, social media gives us a great opportunity to show our organization what value we provide, that we are really a key service component and we are interested in enhancing the workspace and delivering services. Social media creates a platform for us, gives us a face to be able to communicate and collaborate with the people that we serve. And these are just examples. But there are some statistics out there that we really need to consider and organizations as a whole need to consider. I mean, we spend over 5 hours a day on social media or on the internet. We do 3/4 of our research online. I do everything on Google. I laugh. My parents came over the other day and my dad goes, "I need your phone book. I need to look up a phone number." And I said, "I haven't had a phone book in 10 years. So I showed him how to do it online. But these statistics don't lie. I mean, people are out there in social, and all of us are engaged socially in some form or fashion. Even if it's just LinkedIn, that's a social business platform that helps us to engage one another. Companies really need to consider how social can be integrated into our professional lives. And I don't know if any of you read about a week ago or so, Facebook at Work. Facebook is coming out with private social collaboration tools for business that are secure. So this is coming for our group, and we need to take advantage of that. And this is why I think social media is so powerful for FM leaders. One, it provides instant communication. For example, Twitter. Twitter is a great resource if there's an emergency, if an elevator's down, if there's some interruption of service, or there's a weather alert. It's a great tool to be able to easily communicate with the people you serve and demonstrate that you want to give them the type of information in a social way. Facebook is another great platform, setting up a Facebook page that shows who your team members are. Here's all our team members, and this is our skill set, and here are the services we provide, and we have a new job opening, and we're offering a new mobile tool, or it's a platform to allow them to get information about what's going on and instantly communicate. It's also a platform for getting real-time feedback. Now, I know that can be scary. You want people to give you positive feedback, but sometimes they're going to give you a negative feedback. But I don't think there's any more valuable collaboration than complaining about something or pointing out a fault or an issue or a struggle you've had, and then the organization responding immediately with, thank you for that feedback. This is how we're going to respond. This is our solution. So you create a higher level of employee engagement with your group. You're demonstrating that you play a role and want to support their productivity and happiness in the workplace. And quite frankly, millennials, as they come into the workplace, if you don't have an online presence, you are not considered legit. You are questioned if you don't, because you're not transparent. They feel like you're hiding something. So it gives you a new sense of respect by the talent you're attempting to attract. And facilities needs a face. We've been in the shadows too long. We need to highlight our unbelievable service and the value we provide. What a great forum to be able to do that. And it also allows us to continue to collaborate. Last one. I'm sure all of you have met challenges before, and I'm sure other people have met those similar challenges, and we posed a question out here. I bet 3 of you could come up with great ideas and great solutions that are different. So my last one is just staying educated, just staying collaborative online, engaging resources. We did a study on LinkedIn where we put in facility management, and over 900 responses came back. There are so many resources out there for us to collaborate and share ideas and read new content, thought leadership that goes on out there. Facility Management Consultants Council, Workplace Evolutionary, IFMA itself, Cornet. There's so many resources out there. I've seen so much dynamic collaboration through LinkedIn groups. It's so powerful and so helpful. And also just general media sites. The workplace and the workforce is a hot topic. People want to talk about that. You can read multiple articles from Forbes, The Guardian, CNN, and get great information about what these high-tech people are doing as it relates to the workspace. So just real quickly in summary, the 6 ingredients: technology, you need to have a good foundation in place, new tech that allows you to be agile. You need to be able to collaborate with that technology. You need to leverage other systems that are already in place. You need to be able to embrace new technology that's coming in. Your technology also should have the ability to mobily engage those applications, not only from your operational point of view, but for your workforce that you serve. And you need to, obviously, analytics, but let's start thinking about that in a different way and how we can impact employee engagement, social media, and ongoing education. And then I have 6 things. Everybody always asks me after I talk, well, what's the first thing I should do? So I just put up some things here that I think you should do, or as takeaways. One is, I think you should go home, take a look at what your technology platform is today, understand, is it meeting your needs today, and do you think it will take you into the next 5 years? Determine what you need, and do you have the flexibility to change your dynamics? Begin to engage your peer groups, talk to people, and start seeing how your systems can integrate and improve your collective deliverable to the organization. Make sure you understand your mobility standards, what the policies and procedures, and what your leadership thinks about mobile workforce and flexible working. Begin to define, set up 4 metrics. When you're collaborating with your peers, start talking to them about employee engagement and what metrics you could work on together collectively to begin to understand employee engagement. Understand your social media platform and policies. Some organizations may be opposed to it. I would show them those statistics. that I put up here and start talking to them about how you can create a more social presence. And then finally, just keep on coming to IFMA, get on LinkedIn, and Pankaj and I also like to collaborate. So we welcome your questions via email or after this visit. Thank you very much for coming. I appreciate your time.